Hi ladies and gentlemen, you're here with Lawrence again. Thanks for joining me. If it's your first time, well then welcome. If you're a returning visitor, I appreciate the support. Today I want to talk to you about conflict because it's something that I struggle with, and I believe that it's something that many people struggle with because we've got a negative belief, a negative association as to what conflict means, and therefore we avoid it. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not deal with conflict, if you do not deal with your emotions, you cannot have a healthy relationship. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've had the unique experience of spending some real quality time with my family again. I'm here in Belgium with my parents, and if you've moved out of the house, you'll understand this. Once you've moved out, it's very hard to move back in. So for the last sort of 3 weeks, I've been having a bit of tension with my parents, and they've been having tension with me because once you live alone and you're away from your kids, you're away from your parents, you start to create your own norms and habits. And then throw into the mix, my older sister also came to live with us for the last 3 weeks, and she's brought her 2 adorable twins with. They're 1 year old, so you can just imagine how chaotic the house is now. And naturally, there's been a bit of tension, and this morning my sister snapped at my mom, and my mom took a huge offense to that. But she didn't say anything. She went into a shell, repressed what she was feeling, and just went quiet. And everybody could pick up on that. Everybody could tell my mom was in a bad mood or upset, but she wouldn't tell us why, and we couldn't help her through it. So eventually, a couple of hours, probably 9 hours later, I spoke to my mom and I said, look, you have to tell me what's going on. You don't have to face these difficulties alone. And eventually she told me that she was upset with how my sister was treating her. My mom has been cooking and cleaning and helping her with the kids, and she didn't feel appreciated. And when I asked her to go and approach my sister, she's like, no, I can't do it. It's too late, and it's too. And all these emotions started to show up. And that's one of the fundamental rules of conflict is you got to fight the beast while it's small. If my mom had said immediately in the situation, listen, Catherine, that hurt me when you said this and made me feel this way, please don't do it again, my sister would have reacted and said, no, Mom, I didn't mean it that way, and they would have resolved it quite quickly. But now that she had waited 8, 9, 10 hours, the molehill had become a mountain, and that's what happens with conflict. As soon as you let it fester, and fester is the best word because it becomes worse and becomes bigger than you think it needs to be. And I spoke to my sister as well. So after I spoke to my mom, I went to my sister and I told her that she was a bit upset. My sister was so shocked. She had no idea. She had no idea and had no realization that she had hurt my mom. That's what communication during conflict can do. If my mom had just mentioned and said, this is the way it makes me feel when you do this, my sister would have been like, oh my word, I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't mean that. Of course I won't do that. If that hurts you, of course I won't do that again. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the fundamental principles is deal with conflict while it's small. And also, you know what, I think conflict can also teach you who needs to be in your life and who doesn't. For example, if someone hurts you and you communicate that to them, and that's conflicting, right? That's hard. If you have a conversation and say, listen, when you do this, it makes me feel this way and I don't like that, please will you stop? If somebody cares about you, they'll stop or they'll at least try. If they don't care about you. If you have to go up to somebody constantly and say, this hurts me, please stop, and they don't, well then, ladies and gentlemen, you got to leave that person behind. So conflict can also be a good thing because it can tell you who wants to be in your life and who doesn't. If you have conflict with somebody and they're willing to change and they're willing to work with you as you're willing to work with them, great relationship to keep. If not, then maybe it's time to get better people in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, conflict is healthy if you let it serve you, if you deal with it. So my 3 tips for you today, my 3 ways of how you can deal with conflict is 1, deal with it while it's small. Don't make a mountain of a molehill. Deal with it small. When it's in the moment, deal with it. Number 2, remember that conflict can teach you who needs to be in your life and who doesn't. So conflict can be a good thing. And number 3 is create a better association with conflict. Create an empowering association with conflict. The biggest challenge I see with a lot of people is that they see conflict as a very negative thing, that if they have a conflict with somebody, that they're going to lose that relationship, and therefore they don't want to lose that relationship, so they avoid the conflict. That's exactly what happened with my mom today. She saw conflicting with my sister, as a very negative thing. And because of that reason, she decided not to have conflict and decided not to approach that conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, conflict can serve you, but only if you use it. So create an empowering meaning. For me, the meaning's been that if I do not have conflict with people, I do not have real relationships. Because you cannot have a real relationship without having conflict in some way. And also number 2 is conflict helps you debate. different ideas, different ways of thinking. So it's very healthy to have conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, please go out there and have fights. Have fights with your spouse, with your friends, with your colleagues. And I'm absolutely just kidding about that, because it's not about having fights, but it is about expressing your needs and having difficult conversations, because sometimes you need to have those difficult conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a plum-pleasing pleasure and a privilege to do this. And as you can see, I'm walking away a little bit quickly because there's people behind me and it's awkward to be doing this, and it seems like they're following me. So I need to run for my life, but it's been so much fun chatting to you again, and I wish you the best of luck in your journey of self-development and self-improvement. And please join me for some more episodes and some more videos. I'd love to hear about it. Comment, give me some feedback, ask some questions. I'd love to unpack things with you. Till then, keep on changing the game. The quality of your life is based on the quality of what you communicate to yourself. You get to communicate the experience of everything that happens to you. Whether you're retrenched, you can communicate that in different ways. Whether you're broken up with somebody, when you get divorced, whether you lose your house, whether you win or lose.